Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Minerals Live. I think we're good this time.
Glad to see everybody.
One more try. Herky jerky start, but hopefully this is all good this time. Technical issues.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Well, we're happy to be here, and this will be our last show for a little period of time
Quite
while
a
we're
little
enjoying the beautiful weather in Tucson, Arizona.
Absolutely. 90s. I was just back in the lab talking to Rob about fans.
Yeah.
He had me to spare.
From what I hear, our friend Alan here is going to have a room with air conditioning in it.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of us will be suffering in the warming weather in Tucson, Arizona.
Yep.
Yes.
But
over in Building D, we like to consider ourselves modernized.
I think so.
Civilized, yes.
We're going to turn on the heat and just crank it up. Yeah. But
Swim to the 90s.
we're excited to go down there. We'll leave at the beginning of next week, and we'll be open for business probably if you're in and around sometime in the afternoon of the 7th and you hammer on our door, you can come in and look at some rocks. We'll be wide open on April 8th through the 18th. And lots of new minerals. We're scrambling today to get more things labeled and packed and ready to go. We're getting our signage all printed, so it's going to be all dolled up. We're really excited to present all of our new acquisitions to you down in Tucson of April 2021.
Awesome.
We got a bunch of locations too. Where are we going to be, Rich?
Well, you want to see the lay of the land, so to say?
Let's see
it. We got it here. This is the off of the It's West website, or
this is Mineral City's website. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, their map. And Richard made some nice additions to it, put some colored dots where the Collector's Edge locations will be.
All color coordinated. Yep.
Now, most of you are familiar with the first site that really was up and running here on Lester Street. It's labeled with a big SG, and that'll be the first Collector's Edge location to open up. That's the Sun Gemstone warehouse complex. I think there's 12 units there, and the Collector's Edge occupies 2 of the units. We're in the 2 closest to Oracle Street, and this is our CE Wholesale location, our primary location for CE Wholesale.
Right.
We have minerals available for sale by the flat, really reasonable if you're a mineral dealer on the internet, if you're a gift store, a rock shop, and you're looking for very affordable, high quality, beautiful wholesale minerals to sell in your shop or online. This is where you want to come. There's some great bargains here. And in the room immediately to the left of that large room off to the right, this is one of our 2 keystone locations where the pieces are essentially a nice mid-range retail quality pieces, but we're offering them at 50% off the normal prices, and there are some great bargains in there. And so Jennifer Quist and George Quist will be in the Keystone area that I just mentioned, and Craig Wybert, who are you familiar with for many years with our company, and Zach Giuliani will be in the wholesale minerals for sale by the flat, and they also have some big decorator pieces in there that are also at really good net prices. So if you're looking for things for resale or just very nice minerals at a very fair price, check out those 2 locations, and that's the Sun Gemstone Warehouse, Lester and Oracle Street.
Yep. And then we want to talk about D first?
Yeah, let's talk about
A
D
first.
Since Alan's here and all excited, we'll let him talk about Building D. What do you want to tell people about what you're going to have, Alan?
Well, it's brand new. I'm sorry. going to say it's brand new.
Yeah.
It is brand new.
I mean,
And I won't be alone. There are other people going to be open in Building D.
Yes,
we're going to
there
have,
are.
what, about a dozen over
Yeah,
there
I
as
think
well?
there's going to be a dozen dealers.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll smell fresh paint, and not every room may have ceiling tiles in it, but it is still a bit of a construction zone. But
Right.
12 dealers are going to be presenting some very nice things over there, so you'll definitely want to go check out Building D.
Yep.
And on this map, it isn't labeled, but it's got C, and then D is just to the right of C.
Yep, this is last year,
Yep.
the satellite view, and they've modified that. They've doubled that size of that building on the right of C
Yep.
to make it two sizes of building and leveled that parking area there.
Yep.
So now it is a much grander.
It's a big place.
It really does kind of change the dynamic of how that
Oh, it
whole
does.
block looks.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That whole CD complex here in the
Yeah.
upper left.
Yeah, and actually, even though it's not marked on this diagram, but where you see the Building B, there are a bunch of other units that in next year's show, to the left of where it says B, all of that will be part of Mineral City as well, and very nice building complex. So this is continuing to grow at this Leicester, Oracle, and Plata Street area. It's really booming, and there'll be well over 100 dealers here. I don't know what their final count will be in this complex, but
Right.
it'll be well over 100 dealers.
With the addition of the SASH building and the Chamber of Commerce building, this is going to be a major hub.
Yes, it really will be.
Really going to consolidate the situation in Tucson.
It surely does.
Yep.
And what are you going to have there in Building D?
Well, we're going to have a lot of nice things. First of all, we'll have the topaz, the new topaz from Zambia. We'll have a nice selection of it at different price points. We'll have some Las Vegas amethyst. What else do we have?
Wolfenite?
Ooh, yes, lots of Wolfenite. I just got done picking a bunch of new fluorite to kind of add to the color palette of the cases down there. Yeah, we'll have a big mix in our room over in D.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to go over to D because Alan has a keen eye for beautiful mineral specimens, and all of the things that have been rolling out of the lab for the last 3 months or so that normally would have been high graded and gone over to the Keystone area over at Sun Gemstone. An awful lot of the pieces have migrated over to Building D. So there's going to be, he's got some killer rocks that he's going to have at 50% off pricing, and you're really going to be surprised at the quality and the low prices in that room. We just did some more cogitating about prices on these new Zambian Imperial Topaz that we're going to be revealing for the first time at this show. And they're beautiful things, highly lustrous. Many of them are quite gemmy interior. They have some interesting. The one that's up on the screen was interesting in that a number of the bigger crystals have some very interesting hoppering. They're actually hollow a good ways down into the crystal, and very interesting crystal morphologies and good imperial topaz color, great luster. I think you're going to be thrilled with them. And then when you see pieces like this, they're little jewels, really transparent, good gemminess to them, high luster, good color. I think you're going to be very impressed. And like I was saying, Alan and I were working on pricing on these, and we slashed them, I'd say, about another 40% off of what we were going to take them to market at.
Wow.
We fell in love with these things because to get Imperial Topaz in the past, you've had to rely on the supply that's often quite limited out of Ouro Preto in Brazil, and this new discovery or new production out of an area in Zambia has really given a big boost to giving people an opportunity to buy very reasonably a nice Imperial Topaz crystal. So those will be in Building D with Alan, revealed for the first time. I think you're selling individual crystals for 125 net, and what about 75?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and then we'll have some in our retail area as well at higher price points. But they're really cool things. I think you'll want to make a special stop with all the other things we have. We'll have some Rotos from Detroit City, the Amethyst, and all of the other things, the Wolfenites out of La Marita Mine. But you're really going to want to check out these new Zambian Imperial Topaz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Also, a few other oldies but goodies. I mean, they're not that old. Unfortunately, due to COVID, some of the unveiling of like the new Borno Nights we had last year, not a lot of people were able to make it to see them.
Yeah, these are
and
world
still
class.
A few great ones, yeah.
World class Borno Nights, and Rob has been continuing to clean and trim the pieces, get them ready to go to market.
Right.
And I don't know if you'll have any Borno Nights over there in Building D, but I know in our retail area we're going to have some very nice ones. This is a really cool one, with a really well formed Borno Night crystal perched on some quartz crystals.
Yep.
And we're just thrilled with these Borno Nights. They're some of the finest that we've ever had. You know, you get used to the ones from Cornwall, and so these are often to try to get a similar quality piece out of Cornwall, you'd be paying significantly more than you are for these beautiful pieces out of Bolivia.
Yep.
And so all of these things that Richard's showing you now are going to be coming from building number A. The original location for Mineral City, the first building that was built. And on our little map, you can see it in a bright greenish dot there.
We are, yep.
And that's where we'll be located. And we'll have our doors wide open, so there'll be a nice breeze flowing through there. And it'll feel nearly tropical. If we have time, we might buy a palm tree and put it in there. But if nothing else, we're going to have 10 brightly lit cases full of great retail mineral specimens.
Yep.
These will be our premier sales location with all of our high-end retail pieces available for sale. Great diversity of product. I mean, we've got brand new Wolfenites from La Marita. We've got brand new Las Vegas Amethyst. This just gives you an idea of one of the last pockets encountered at the La Marita mine in Chihuahua, Mexico. Brilliant Wolfenite, high luster, good color, really kind of a yellow-orange, a beautiful, beautiful shade, and really well formed. So I think you'll be blown away by these Wolfenites. They continue to be some of the finest found in many decades. So we're really excited to bring them to you in Building A.
Absolutely.
We'll also have lots of new Detroit City mine pieces that have been trimmed out since the last time we saw you at a show. And the Borno Nights, pink apatites out of Bolivia, just all sorts of new material that
lots of great stuff. Yeah. Definitely want to stop by and check us out.
Yeah.
This will be an interesting adventure. April in Tucson.
Yeah. This will be our first time. I think Richard has a new Speedo that he's going to wear in the showroom. A tank top and a Speedo. And
this is a rumor he's trying to start, and it's not true, folks. I promise you it's not true. It's Alan that's going to be wearing it.
Alan's going to have the Speedo.
Yeah. It should arrive today, I think.
Good.
But we're excited to see all of you. If you're coming to Tucson, we'd love to get a message from you. Send us an email and let us know you're coming. Brian will ask often, who have you heard that's coming, and we'd love to give him a little list. So if you're listening to the show and you know you're coming out to Tucson to see the show here in April, there's going to be a lot of venues open. not only Mineral City, which is significant enough, but all of the dealer operations. The Top Gem Midwest Minerals will be open. The Pueblo show on Interstate 10 will have dealers there. 22nd Street show will be open. And I think between the jewelry, gemstone, and mineral venues, there's more than 20 open for this show. So it's significantly bigger than it was in January, February. And lots of good things to see. We'll be practicing safe distancing and having masks on in our room, and we'll encourage you to come visit us.
Please do. Yep. Look forward to seeing you. We'll try to have some cool water for you.
There you go.
Yep. Refrigerator well stocked.
And Richard's been very busy the last couple days pulling together some very nice things for today's program. We have 6 mineral specimens that are available for sale, and he might even have enough time to ship these out to you. If you're quick with your request, send your request to purchase any one of these to Richard, and he can be reached at minerals@collectorsedge.com. And just send him an email, and he will be happy to send any of these pieces out to you.
Absolutely.
Before we move on to the minerals, anything else you want to say about the show that we've missed?
Not that I can think of offhand. I think we got it pretty well covered the last couple episodes that we did.
Okay.
Pretty well nailed it.
All right.
We're definitely going to have beverages and snacks available at the showroom.
Oh yeah, we'll have some fresh cookies for people to enjoy as long as they last.
Right.
So you'll be more than welcome to come in and grab a nice cookie and some drinks and enjoy shopping with us.
Absolutely, we're here for you. And hopefully Graham keeps things going and gets it all organized. And you have lights in your room.
I have faith. I have faith in Graham.
Well, he has lights. He has a ceiling. He has a ceiling grid.
Okay.
But he doesn't have tiles yet.
No tile. Okay.
No tiles yet. But
Zach's good at hanging those. I think.
Apparently, he doesn't even need a ladder. No. He can just reach up and put them right in.
Probably remember to pack my step ladder in case Zach's busy, I guess.
Yeah. We would hope that our landlords there at Mineral City would take care of our ceiling tiles, but
we have memories of building a couple of years ago. Yeah. So
all right.
Anyway, let's move on to specimen number 1.
Let's do it.
Sure. Give our viewers something to salivate over right now.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful piece.
I love this piece.
You know, we were very fortunate to buy a significant lot several years back of fluorite associated with dolomite. So you have these beautiful, lustrous, gemmy, green fluorite crystals. They're kind of complex clusters that are merging the cube and the octahedron together, and they're kind of step-face growth on these, but they're highly lustrous, very gemmy crystals, and a very vibrant green color. And in contrast, this is one of the coolest pieces in inventory. So many times they have sparse amounts of the saddle-shaped dolomite, but this really is jammed on the matrix with well-formed dolomite crystals with a very bright pinkish color. Is there a better color for that? Is that salmon? Is that, what would you call that, dolomite color?
No, it's too light, or too delicate to call salmon, I think.
Okay.
It
Alan
looks a
is
little,
our color.
Yeah, he's our
color
man.
expert.
Yeah, but apparently pinks are my
Are your
weak
weakness?
point. I'm not very good at describing pinks.
That's okay.
Well, this is we're going to have to look at our fruit basket and figure out what kind of pink this might be. But it's a lovely shade of pink and really well formed, big dolomite crystals. I mean, these are really nicely formed, and this is big specimen, folks. And when you see the price, this one's going to fly off the show. I'm convinced of it. So don't hesitate to send Richard an email, minerals@collectorsedge.com. What's the size overall of this piece, Rich?
This one measures 7.5 by 13.5 by 4.5 centimeters.
So in its width, as it's turning around on the turntable, it's more than 5 inches across.
Right.
And the individual fluorites, the largest at least of them, is 3.2 centimeters across. So that's more than an inch across. Then you have these beautiful pink contrasting dolomite crystals to the green fluorite. It's just an exceptional piece. And if you're a collector of minerals from China, or if you're a collector of fluorite, I don't have too many dolomite collectors, although there are a few carbonate collectors out there. And so this is from the Dongpo ore field in Hunan province in China. So if you're filling your collection of Chinese fluorites or just specimens in general, you can't go wrong with the quality, the color contrast on this, and the size. It's just a screaming deal today. So, Richard, what are you giving this one away for?
$625.
Yep. And that's, honest to goodness, when you look at this piece, you would think it's $2,500 to $3,000. I mean, $625 is a screaming good deal. So don't hesitate. Get a hold of Richard as fast as you can. First email that comes in requesting the piece is the one that's going to get it. So we encourage you to, even if you're, and sometimes, folks, things get overlooked in the live broadcast because we do it during the workday. If you're at home tonight and you're watching this a little bit delayed, send them an email just in case, because that could still be available. So you want to hit that one hard, because it's a really high quality piece at a very good price.
Even though we're not here, get your email in, because we do it by date stamp. So date and time. So specimen number 2. Sorry, I have to look around the microphone here to get to the right slide. Sorry, I'm not trying to.
You're not trying to cuddle up to you.
Flirty there. I can get. Here we go. Finally.
Yeah. Boy, that's super aesthetic.
Isn't
that a lovely thing? It's even it kind of looks like a peace sign.
It does.
It's a kind of the peace sign spirit quartz, or cactus quartz, as people like to interchangeably call these things. This is an amethyst variety quartz, or quartz variety amethyst, from Farm Bokenhouthoek in South Africa. And these things come in a tremendous range of colors. You can get them in kind of a citrine color. You can get them in smoky. You can get them white. But I think, personally, the most appealing of them are the amethystine to dark amethyst colored. And this has a nice kind of amethystine color. It's somewhere in between, depending on what light source you're in, what we're seeing here on the turntable and the close-up pictures that Richard's been doing. So it's kind of in between the two of those. Go ahead.
I was just going to say this monitor is a little magenta.
Oh, okay.
So it's making it look more purple on our monitor than it really is. But the folks out in TV
are
land
seeing real colors.
Hopefully, depending upon how their monitor is calibrated.
Yeah.
Mine is not very well calibrated.
But I can tell you, when you get this thing in your hands, you're going to go, how beautifully aesthetic is this piece? It is super. And one of the reasons why they call this Cactus Quartz is that you have these really nice, long, prismatic quartz crystals, and then running perpendicular to the C-axis, these terminations of a druze of quartz formed on the prism faces of these long amethystine crystals, and they look like needles on a saguaro cactus or something. It's just, they're just beautiful and really well formed. Very popular with those in the metaphysical world. And
also with decorators, just because anytime the light just touches them, I mean, they really sparkle.
They sparkle.
I mean, it doesn't need a nice light source to present well.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful cluster. What's the size of this one, Rich?
This one measures 12 by 8 by 12 centimeters.
Yep.
Definitely a good sized piece.
The longest of those quartz crystals is over 2 inches. It's 6.5 centimeters tall, so almost 2.5 inches tall. So this is an impressive cabinet-sized piece, 12 centimeters, which nearly 5 inches in 2 directions. So it's really a lovely, lovely piece. And again here, Richard's offering this at an extremely fair price today.
Absolutely. Always on Minerals Live, just $999.
Yeah, that's another great deal.
Yep.
And it's really impressive. When you see this in person, you're going to say, I mean, it would, in anybody's collection, it would be an important addition. It's super aesthetic. Right. Yep. So I think you would love this piece. Don't hesitate to send Richard an email.
Yep.
And he doesn't charge you anything on the outbound leg of the shipment, so he ships it to you for nothing. Yeah. And you can get it in your cabinet at home and see how it fits, and let him know.
Yep. Even you're getting a little choked up, Steve.
I know.
You know.
I might have to place my order.
I think so. At least got people have a day to look at this.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit of a head start.
Anyway, moving on to specimen number 3.
Let's do it.
We haven't had one of these on the show in a while, and I really like this piece.
Yep.
It's really got good color.
It does. Really intense orange color. And it is from an area that is no longer allowed to produce these things in China. And honestly, in my opinion, they're the finest Shelites ever found on the planet Earth. That looks great on the turntable. He's previewing it for us in the studio area.
There we go.
And it's really a bright orange color. This is a Shelite on muscovite, and it's from Mount Zubaoding in Sichuan province in China. And as we've told you a number of times on air on Minerals Live, the Chinese government has forbidden that this area in Mount Zubaoding area, it's forbidden to be collecting. It's apparently in a very remote mountainous area that's kind of a panda preserve, and they don't want people blowing up the mountainsides with explosives to chase these veins that contain the beryls and the Shelites and the cassiterite that form in this deposit. So for a while they were arresting Chinese dealers who were selling these and locking them up, telling them, hey, you can't collect these, you can't sell these anymore in China. So you can still market in them if they're out of the ground, but you're not allowed to collect them and sell new ones. So the ones that are out of the ground are all that there's going to be, and this is an extremely well formed Shelite crystal on muscovite, and a beautiful orange color. Luster is good. I think you'd be very proud to own this particular specimen. And again, it's not a miniature. It's a good size, small cabinet piece. What's the size of this one, Richard?
This one measures 8 by 7.3 by 6.5 centimeters.
And the Shelite itself is just a touch under an inch across. It's 2.3 centimeters, and it perches up really nicely on the muscovite.
Yep.
So quite a handsome piece. And one of those that if you don't have one from China, I tell you right now, things in general from China are coming out very slowly.
Right.
I don't know if there's much mining going on over there right now, but very little's being offered into the United States. There was a big find here recently that was offered, but other than that random find, there's been very little coming to market.
Right.
So it's been pretty quiet. So if you're interested in classics from China to add them to your collection, this Shelite, you can't go wrong with it. What are you asking for this one today, Rich?
This one today, let me go back to this one, is just $1,250.
Yeah. Super piece.
Yep.
And like I say, you got an inch crystal, on a roughly 3-inch by 3-inch matrix. So really, really nice. Good aesthetics overall, and good condition, and wonderful color.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing that separates this piece from an awful lot of the Shelites out there. They tend to go from a somewhat weakish yellow-orange to this bright orange color, and this is a really strong orange color.
Nice piece.
Yeah.
Super.
Yep.
I think I'm just going to keep it. I would never do that. But this next piece, specimen number 4, has an interesting history.
It does. It has an interesting history.
Let's see here.
It is a Stillbite.
It is indeed.
And look at the incredible aesthetics of this
Look at
Stillbite. It's from the Poon district in Maharashtra state in India. And this specimen, you can't say this about a whole lot of mineral specimens in our inventory any longer.
That's true.
At one point, Steve Bailing sold his mineral collection to the Collector's Edge Minerals. And this lovely Stillbite was part of the Steve Bailing mineral collection.
Let's see if we can get it in focus there. The Steve Bailing collection on the label.
Holy cow. That's worth deducting the price
Just
for.
the label.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to get a special deduction on that. but this, I actually found this up in Arkansas, of all places.
You're kidding.
Gary Nagin was at the time. This was probably now 25 years ago.
Right.
Gary Nagin was importing a lot of zeolites from India, and I went up to Arkansas, and I said, gee, this is really super aesthetics, and very colorful and perched up nicely on matrix. And so I decided I would add this to my collection at the time.
Right.
And so we're offering this at a good price today. What's the overall size of this lovely piece, Richard?
Overall dimensions are 8.8 by 5.5 by 5.8 centimeters.
So over 3 inches tall.
Right.
And great size piece, even showing some of the Deccan Plateau lava on the back of this.
It's got it all.
It's got it all.
Yeah.
And another associated white thing.
Isn't it pectolite?
Yeah, it could be pectolite. It's one of those kind of pectolite-y minerals.
Pectolite-y.
And so it was just a nice color contrast with the basalt and the whitey mineral and the Stillbite, the kind of salmon pink Stillbite crystal. And Richard, the Stillbite cluster there measures 5.7 centimeters tall, rising up kingly above the matrix. And what are you offering this to the general public today?
This is a crazy deal at $250.
$250, folks.
It's a steal.
So
it is a steal.
We did reduce it because it had my name associated with it. So
it's got a little smell, but it's okay.
So anyway, it's yours today. If you want to add something really impressive from the ex-Steve Bailing collection, that's what you need to do. Part with $250 and send it on in.
Yep.
But anyway,
it's the least expensive piece on the show. Anyway, for specimen number 5, we're going to go back to Mount Shubading.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
And a very gemmy specimen.
Yep.
We have Burl from here. Did they ever cut gems out of this stuff?
Yes.
Did they? So you do see Chinese aquamarine stones in the market.
You do see them. I have not as much as you see from Pakistan, of course, but Brazil. But
yeah, your Chinese aquas do hit the market in cut stones. Interesting. Yeah. And this is a pretty cluster and a very fair price on it today. This is a burl variety aquamarine with a little bit of muscovite association. Is there any feldspar on there?
Yeah, there's some albite on there.
Some albite on there as well. The burl's highly lustrous. The interesting thing about the aquamarines from the Mount Zubaoding area is their crystal morphology is remarkably like what we've been accustomed to in morganite varieties of beryl, the pink ones. These are very tabular crystals, so they're sort of small on the length of the C-axis, and so they're very tabular crystals, which is unusual for aquamarine beryl. It does happen in certain areas around the world, but typically they tend to be more prismatic than these more tabular crystals from Mount Zubaoding in Sichuan province. So if you love your gem species and want to add a kind of an interesting crystal morphology to your collection for the species of beryl variety aquamarine, we'd suggest you picking this thing up. It's a lovely piece, and it would match wonderfully with the Shelite we offered earlier.
Absolutely.
It'd be a really nice pair. What's the size here, Richard?
The specimen overall measures 4.5 by 6.3 by 4.3 centimeters.
Yeah. So it's a little wider than a normal miniature. It's 6.3 rather than 5.0. So it's bigger. The largest of the beryls measures 3.2 centimeters across, and the largest of the albite crystals on this one measures 1.8 centimeters. So a really aesthetic, good condition. The luster's super. It's gemmy in most of the areas of the beryl crystal, a little bit cloudy in others, but really, really quite nice. And I would say it's the normal range of color from this locality.
Right.
It's a nice light blue color. So quite a lovely piece. And what are you asking today?
Specimen number 5 is $550. I almost made it $555, but that would just be getting a little silly.
There you go.
$550 today.
Yeah. Well, Richard, you've been outdoing yourself today. All of these pieces are really, really nice.
I did some digging.
You got some nice pieces on the show today, and they're all good size. Good size pieces.
It's a treasure hunt every Monday or so. I go digging around looking for things to put on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm breaking from the normal here, folks, on specimen number 6.
You don't have to just glaze over on specimen number 6 and assume it's going to be from the Sweet Home mine.
Nope.
But it is.
It is red.
It is red.
Yep.
And it is from the famous Wutong mine in Guangxi Shuang Autonomous Zone in China. And the Collector's Edge was very intimately associated with the mining at this location. As I recall, it started mining as a silver deposit in the 1950s, and they were largely mining it on one level. Most of the rhombohedral crystals that we got from the Wutong mine were from that upper zone where the initial mining back in the 1950s began. They were sharply rhombohedral, looked somewhat similar to the specimens from the Sweet Home mine. Not quite as cherry red a color, but very nice, pleasing, medium pinkish red. Nice, well-formed crystals, and on matrix that was distinctly different from what you saw at Sweet Home, and some nice sulfide mineral association on this particular piece. Very handsome specimen. The color contrast with the carbonate matrix and the sulfide minerals really sets this off. It's quite a beautiful little piece, and this mine is completely and utterly flooded. And so you can see how nicely formed this crystal is in this close-up. So you've got nice, it's nice crystallization, rhombohedral shaped crystal. Is there also some fluorite on there? It almost looks in the picture here that there's a little fluorite.
Yes, there is, and pyrite as well.
Yeah, pyrite and fluorite. So really a handsome mineral specimen. And because this mine is flooded, there probably will be no more ever out from this location. Beautiful close-up picture here showing some of the color zonation in this piece. I think these have actually been extremely popular. You know, people love rhodochrosite from any location around the world. It doesn't matter if it's the botryoids out of Japan, whether it's the Peruvian crystals from Uchuchaqua or Pasto Bueno, or the Wutong mine here in China, or the Sweet Home mine and other rhodochrosite localities around Colorado. Rhodochrosite is arguably the most popular mineral on the planet.
Yep.
When you get a decent, tourmaline might be in there with so many localities, but rhodochrosite sells rapidly, and these were very, very popular. We had mining people at the location. We were imparting our knowledge, the use of equipment to recover mineral specimens here at this location with the mine owners, and we had crews stationed there to help collect these things when pockets were encountered. So we were intimately involved here, and we had some of the best supply, and it's just evaporated over the years.
Right.
And this again was more than likely from the upper zone.
Mm-hmm.
After they kind of mined that area out, they did a decline to a zone below that also was rhodochrosite bearing, and all of the big tabular flattened crystals came out from the lower workings. These rhombohedrons were largely up in the upper workings.
Right.
So really a lovely piece. Did we give the dimensions of this one?
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
Let me get back to a picture of it so people can see what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
See me.
I love that picture.
Looking down, reading. It's a 4.5 by 6.6 by 3.8 centimeters.
So a little bit over a miniature. It's a small cabinet size piece. The rhodo itself is a nice size 2.1 centimeter on edge. So point to point it would measure a little bigger, but this is on edge measurement. And the pyrites, it looks like, are up to about 3 millimeters across.
Yep.
And a really nice piece at a very fair price.
I agree.
Go ahead and let them know.
Unveil it. All right. This one is just $625 today.
It's really low.
Really tried to keep it tempting today.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think it is. Really, really wonderful piece.
Affordable pieces, yeah.
I apologize for having one ex-Steve Baling specimen here, but
we kept the price appropriate. But there's only one piece on the show today that was over 1,000.
Yeah.
And that's barely over.
Yeah. And these are wonderful mineral specimens. So, folks, if you're interested in buying, do we own all of these, don't we?
I believe we do. Yes.
Yeah. So if you bought all 6, not only do you get the great prices we've given you, but we'll take another 10% off if you buy all 6.
Instant collection, especially a nice Chinese suite, you know.
Yeah.
You get a rhodo, a Shelite, and a burl.
And I would probably sign the back of the Steve Baling card.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There you go. My gosh.
With something. I might put John Hancock or something else, but we would sign it in one way or another. So
for $250, folks, someday just the card's going to be worth it. Yep.
Yeah, we're coming closer and closer to my demise. So it might. It's like paintings. You buy them on speculation. You know, at some point it'll be worth something.
Steve's spending more and more of his days on the phone with medical
people. Oh goodness. Most of it about my mental issues, but
getting old is not easy, folks.
All right,
this young guy here, he's the future of the company.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. We're all in trouble then.
Anyway, we hope to see you in Tucson next week.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. Should be a banner show.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how it goes with the warmer climes.
Yeah.
It's a good time to come down there and play a little golf too, and you can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Do some hiking in the saguaros.
I know a lot of people do. It's incredible when we talk to the people who are coming down, the collectors coming down to Tucson. Invariably, they're saying, "Well, we're going to look for minerals for about 2 days, and then take about 3 days to go explore Arizona and go out hiking and doing things." So people have a lot of fun when they're down there, and it's still chilly and snowy in a lot of the country. So if you want to escape that and see some beautiful mineral specimens,
Absolutely.
head down to Tucson. We'll see you the 8th through the 18th,
Right.
and you'll see lots of beautiful minerals.
Yep. Just one last look. We are in the green. Steve and I will be in the green dot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off on the red dot all by itself in D.
Yep. And then Jennifer, George, Craig, and Zach are over there in the Sun Gemstone building. So come and see us.
Look forward to seeing you there.
Absolutely. Until after Tucson. Hopefully we'll have a show after Tucson because I'm going to be going on the road pretty quick after Tucson. So it's going to start getting busy again, folks.
Yep.
Anyway.
Thanks, everybody.
Our best to Graham down there working hard.
Yep, he's building a building.
Building a building, putting in ceiling tiles as we speak. Anyway, folks, thanks so much. And we will catch you hopefully in Tucson. Take care, everyone.
See you later.
Bye-bye.